Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. It is June 30th, 2022, and this is your daily Ukraine update. And I am somewhat pleased to report that it looks like the withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from Lysychansk is finally underway. Not a moment too soon. Let's get into it. Also, guys, do me one favor, please. We are so close to 100,000 subs. If you enjoy this channel, appreciate this content, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't mean I'm going to be all over your feed, but it will make a huge difference to me. It'll get me put that plaque on the wall, and that'll mean a lot to me. So thank you for that. Okay, let's take a look. So here's the biggest changes that we've seen, right? You can see here, right in the Lysychansk area, the totally expected withdrawal from Severodonetsk is complete. Russians have seized up to the river here. But the other area that we've seen some minor advancements is along the front here in Vovchorivka. You can see it's hard to say if this is just consolidation. You can see what they've seized is largely empty farmland, and they've pushed into this small village or possibly an industrial center here outside of Topolivka. And again, I suspect this is just a consolidation of front lines. No really significant territory is being seized here, but the danger is that, as we can see here, this road to withdrawal is very, very, very close to Russian lines. You can see here the Russian forces, right? On the map, we're looking at maybe 2,000 meters. So even Russian armored forces can engage Ukrainian forces that pass along this road. That can be make this withdrawal very, very tricky for Ukrainian forces, and that's probably what the Russians are pushing towards here. The reason they're not pushing straight to cut off Lysychansk is they realize that this main thoroughfare is the way out, and if they can stop this, then forces in Lysychansk are going to have a way harder time to withdraw. So we need to see that sort of withdrawal effort underway. And when we look at the map of Lysychansk here, let's see if we can find it. There we go. There's Lysychansk. We can see on the deployment map that withdrawal is well underway. It looks like only maybe the Foreign Legion is still fighting in Donbass, southern Lysychansk, right? Reports are that Russian forces are advancing steadily through the city. This is just going to be what the Ukrainians are going to be doing now is what's sometimes called trading space for time. And trading space for time is a military term for fighting a delaying action against your enemy, in which you are being successful if you steadily retreat in a controlled fashion. And the idea is that militaries, especially like the Russians, have a travel formation like we've seen. Tanks get in line, tanks drive down road. Then they have combat formations when they're ready and have to engage targets. We've seen that in all these videos. The tanks have to stop, infantry gets out, they start clearing buildings and villages nearby, and they stop their forward movement in order to secure the immediate area. So the idea is to exploit that incredibly time-intensive process, stopping, securing the area, then deciding it's clear, remounting the vehicles, pushing again. You can exploit that by fighting a delaying action. So for example, a smaller force will meet and take out, let's say, a lead tank. It'll force them to stop, deploy, engage. Meanwhile, that force hits the enemy and then withdraws further back. The enemy realizes, hey, the area around us is clear, let's mount up. They drive again for 500 meters, a kilometer, and they run into the Ukrainian forces and get hit again. And so that delaying action can make going even a few hundred meters, a mile, an incredibly time-intensive process, even if you don't necessarily take many casualties. But by buying your friendly forces 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours to withdraw, you can create an effect where many of your forces can withdraw or reposition and are ready to fight. It can also be done in a bounding movement in which one side is engaging the enemy while another unit is preparing their defenses. They that unit engages, retreats, you know, the old hit and run. Hit, they run. As the enemy reconsolidates, begins to move again, they run into another attack or ambush, right? So I think that's what you're probably seeing here is no one thinks that they're going to hold Lysychansk. They just can't take that risk, and that the Russians just need to be delayed. And so they're going to be, you're going to see, you can see here, right, these special police battalions are starting to withdraw. The 111th Territorial Defense, 4th Special Police Battalion, these guys are all pulling back, right? And to their credit, I think this is the Foreign Legion, though it may be, anyway, I'm pretty sure it's a Foreign Legion. These guys are doing the fighting retreat, the trading space for time, and they are going to be withdrawing all probably through this road here. You can see also that a lot of these units that were pushed back near Chorivka, these are forming tighter and tighter defenses of this key road. You can see them here, 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 right? They are really trying to secure this withdrawal corridor for the friendly forces in Lysychansk. So hopefully the Russians have their fighting cut out for them, their work cut out for them to cut off this roadway. But this is really the heart of the battle. This and the ability to continue to delay the enemy on the withdrawal from Lysychansk. Obviously, if they can get to Svirsk, Svirsk appears to be very locked down, very secure, and would be a comparatively safe area. Now, let's take a look. I want to point something out here that I think is important, and that I haven't acknowledged in some time, even though I think it's pretty important to do so. Let's see if I can find it on this main map. We're a little shallow here. There we go. Okay. We want to talk about the guys at Bohododichne. This is the 80th and 81st Airborne and Air Assault Regiments, respectively. These guys, as you might remember, the Russians pushed hard into Bohododichne, and these two regiments have just stopped them cold, truly. We can see, I mean, let's look at how long the Russians have been stuck at Bohododichne, right? We can go back a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. There's no move. There's no movement. The Russians have been locked into this forest here and can't really seize more of Bohododichne. And this is a function just of that 80th and 81st Airborne and Air Assault, right? Holding the line here at Bohododichne, and locking the Russians into place. And the nice thing, I think, is that the longer they are able to dig in, right, the Russians are the ones who have to advance, but the longer you are on the defense, the stronger your defense can get. Your trenches get deeper, your positions more secure, your intel better, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder to dislodge these troops. Now, especially given that a lot of this is urban fighting, you can see this line of battle, this limit of advance, is right through the middle of the town. So, as we've seen, urban warfare, just brutal, and a testament to the 80th and 81st. They're able to hold as long as they have. And like we talked about, let's see, there's Lysychansk, Svirsk, and these guys are significantly back into Sloviansk. But if the Russians holding the Russians at the Donetsk River is pretty significant for this entire front. So again, that's it's not, sometimes victories aren't always strong motions, right? Sometimes victories aren't sweeping epic wins. Sometimes they are just stopping the enemy where they are. And, you know, you need to recognize it where it happens. And the truth is, as we've seen every day for the past week, the only major advances, the only major changes have been the Russian forces pushing in Lysychansk. There's nowhere else that they have made advances. So anyway, guys, again, hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and if you want breakdowns that are too spicy for YouTube, some of those combat videos from Reddit and War Leaks and stuff, you want to become a member of the Patreon. Thanks to our Lieutenant tier patrons.